So this is a camera. We do live stream and record. And we do this every Friday night. This is our weekly community builder meetup with bridge makers. And I'm Heyu. Most people know of my name. If I'm not scurrying around and trying to get people to RSVP for things, then I'm also building the bridge and figuring out what our bridges are and what our boundaries are, and negotiating different fires and crises that are happening around the social VR landscape. So this is our regular check-in time. And yeah, glad to see everybody here. Welcome, Furfador.
Hey. Hello.
Hello.
I'm back.
So usually how we do this format is the first part is we talk about group norms and how we can co-create a space that works for all of us tonight. So norms are the things that we do in groups to keep each other belonging, but it isn't necessarily things we normally talk out loud about. So they're not the same things as guidelines or rules, but they can become that eventually if that becomes a thing for us. You can read some of our norms in the description of the group Bridge Makers if you click above my head, or let's see, Furfador's head.
I'll represent for tonight
in the
too.
rules box. Oh, cool. And you can also bring up your own norms, like something that helps you feel a sense of belonging sometimes when you are circling up and building community. And so yeah, one of our norms is transparency. Therefore, the camera and that's also a value of ours, is we grow and we show us growing bit by bit, even if it's a little bit messy sometimes. What are other norms to help us belong together this evening? And then we'll do pain points after that, which is just talking about one thing that's making us ache in building community, whatever that is. Hey, Silent, welcome. Glad you're here.
Hello.
Hello. We're just about to start our norms round. Who would like to go first?
I could start.
Cool.
We encourage lots and lots of emojis. If you feel like you're not, if you feel too nervous to speak up, we do appreciate the expression of how you're feeling and showing appreciation for other people, to not disrupt everyone with lots of talking, but lots of emojis are very much appreciated here, and that's a norm we like to express.
Yeah, emojis are a different way that we practice reflective listening. So the more spice and the more playful, but also the more genuine your emojis are, the more we're able to see that as we share, we're impacting each other. Yeah. Let's just go in a circle. So, Silent, what's a norm for you?
Norm for me. I see. I do really like, I guess when we're sitting in a circle to I guess we have the open spot right there. I like leaving open spots in the circle. Something that I usually quite appreciate.
Yeah, thank you. That is it's easy to lose consciousness of that, but especially if we all imagine the walk from the spawn point to here, coming up and seeing there's somewhere to scooch into and that people are welcome can really make a difference and feel less intimidating than walking all the way here and feeling like they're coming into a closed circle. So yeah, open spots are a great way to communicate with our nonverbals that people are welcome here. Or that people think I will bite them if they're on my left. That could also be the communication. All right, Sash, what's a norm for you?
I think one norm for me is
Thanks, Theo.
being able to look past a initial assumption, like look past a label, not just like for if someone is in a certain group or community, but like look past the label of the situation. So being able to listen before you think and let it kind of simmer.
Hmm.
Mm.
So maybe are you talking about like how people can get very judgmental and black and white thinking at times?
Mm-hmm.
So this is about slowing down and learning how to see gradients.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, great. Yeah, anybody who has seen the Bridgemakers logo, there's a visor or goggles on there that has a gradient of blue to red and purple in the middle. And that's part of the representation of that. We're about diversifying the perspectives. That's what builds the bridge. Thank you. All right. Yeah.
Usually a norm for me is fostering positivity in communities that I'm a part of. Doesn't necessarily mean ignoring the bad, but acknowledging the good is always the best start.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So good and bad becomes a binary, and that's something that personally I practice in my life. Being careful about doing that, it can kind of set up a heaviness in the bad end of things if we emphasize good. And what I appreciate when people bring this up is that, sometimes when we're feeling heaviness or like the world just isn't right, we can get stuck in that. And especially in VR, where emotions travel very quickly and can be very permeable, staying conscious of how we acknowledge what is and isn't working is really important. So we stay real here, and we're also looking for the balance, maybe is how I would put it. Does that make sense?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And we definitely have people in here that tend on the more positive side of things. And if that's your genuine personality instead of an attempt to like compensate for all the negativity kind of feelings, that can be really lovely and bright. So you follow your norms, and also just keep in mind that what we're valuing here is more about being real than about being right. Does that make sense?
Oh, I think we'll get along quite swimmingly, actually.
Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Escapist, your turn.
Norm for me, and one that I've noticed is pretty common in a lot of these groups, and it's already been mentioned here, is just the acceptance of like people just it being okay if somebody wants to be quiet, or, like not talk at
Hmm.
all, and because a lot of the time
Mm.
in real life, and for a lot of people that I know, anytime there's any sort of silence or pause after somebody says something, if people just tend to not like that little bit of pause or silence, and there's an expectation
We fill the
that
space up.
somebody has to be speaking up. And I've noticed that this space in particular in VR,
Hmm.
that's not nearly as much of a thing because not everybody wants to talk, and it's just gotten to the point where it's pretty much a normal thing. Like everybody runs into people that are known as like mutes, where they just don't talk at all, and it's just accepted. And I
Mm-hmm.
like that, and I try to always keep that in mind and not try to rush into that space
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of the silence. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It is definitely hard to read those nonverbal cues in people. What is silence versus
Mm.
like intense anxiety, you know?
Mm.
Um, so I appreciate people who can create that trust level with each other. And I think it can take time when there's a lot of new energies present on how to do that and not accidentally kind of be abandoning people when they're just like really at a loss and holding their breath and not sure what to say. So I definitely love the spaces where that is more normal, and it's tough when we have new energies present. How to fill the space in the right amount, you know. That's great that you're practicing that. And yeah, for this particular circle, because we do community building, we do encourage everyone to try to add something, even if it's by typing instead of speaking. So, all right, Theo, your turn.
While setting your status to orange so that no interruptions can happen, like the one we just had with Crypto Wolf coming in and honking the horn on the car. And if it's okay if I go over another one, abstaining from substance use. Substance use can dysregulate a room, and that responsibility and respect with a substance should be considered before interacting in social groups or individuals that you feel connected to that may seem like it might be a good idea to come by to conversate, but it can really disorient the connections if not held properly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, substance use. I appreciate that one. The status on orange, I think actually everybody was on orange at that point. Crypto is still learning how to kind of land with us, I think. So that was Crypto's version of saying hello and disappearing. And yeah, orange is less about not being disturbed and more about the bridge to the entrance. So if you are on orange and you get somebody wanting to join, you're welcome to accept their request, but then just please respawn and meet them and let them know what they're walking into. So, yeah. Cool. All right. Well, there's a few others that I don't think anybody's mentioned. One has to do with kindness. That we practice kindness here. I'm curious if anybody wants to say what kindness means to them to help bring it into the room. That hasn't spoken very much.
I was about to say, kindness means to me to have the foresight, because I have children. So kindness isn't always a gentle hand, but it's a little bit of wisdom to help guide.
That's a really nice way to put it. Thank you. Yeah, kindness sometimes is about setting boundaries, and sometimes it's about saying no, but it's about caring for each other and having a common goal. Yeah. What is another norm for us? Oh, say hello and say goodbye. So in social VR, it's often really common to just in the wild yonder disappear when we feel done with something. But at Bridgemakers, we're practicing being human on purpose together, and that means that we get to know each other and we care about the space that you're taking up here. So if you do have to leave before that 2-hour window, most of our events are about 2 hours. If you have to leave before the end, if you're willing to interrupt, even though that can feel awkward, and just say you need to go and give us any reason to understand why you had to leave early, that helps us celebrate you trusting your journey and giving you grace. But it also gives us context to understand why right then, why did it happen right there. And along with that, RSVPing is a way to take care of the Bridgemakers admin and letting us know that you find this a valuable experience. Yeah. I think those are the major norms. So next we'll move into pain points. Does somebody want to explain what this part is who's been here before? Why do we talk about pain points? Go ahead and raise your hand if you would like to try explaining that one. All right, let's go with Sash.
For pain points, it's a moment to just be able to explain what's been troubling you, a moment to just be human and express your struggles.
Yeah.
So I see it.
Yeah. Yeah, community building. So, Bridge Makers focuses on helping people build community better. That's the most vague, kind of general way to say it. We do focus on helping upskill leaders, and that's our main population that we're supporting. Um, but before people become leaders, they are community builders. And before they're community builders, they just want community. And sometimes building community doesn't necessarily start with outside of us, it starts with inside of us. How do I build relationship with me and hold on to myself so I can find relationship with other people outside of me that can actually grow roots and be long-term healthy? So pain points are about recognizing that wherever I am on that journey, and it's not linear, I struggle with building my own personal community, staying connected to myself, and supporting leaders and being a leader. I have all those problems on the same day many times. So, whatever is the most deep of an ache that can really acknowledge the shared group work we're doing here, like where are other people's pain points and how do we witness each other? This isn't a therapy session. This is not about fixing the pain at all. This is about reflecting the pain. And by the process of reflecting pain, we witness each other, and that helps us grow. When I say I'm hurting and somebody doesn't try to just grab me and prop me up and fix everything, it allows me to breathe into that space and notice what else is happening. So the exercise of acknowledging one pain point for you as a community builder in whatever capacity that is we also practice just doing a very simple reflective listening exercise. And it's not about responding to it or having emotions or trying to validate it. It's just about acknowledging it and saying, you said A, B, C. Did I get that? I heard your journey. These are the main details. So we're all going to practice that together. And so who would like to start with a pain point? Okay, Theo.
So I have been getting back into some personal favorite games of mine. They're shooter arena FPS games, and coming back to those communities, I started streaming earlier, and it's sort of really really damaging to be a part of that space sometimes because I just end up finding that again and again, like I've talked to many people, that most of the spaces are clouded by essence of the game that kind of really like isolates newer players or moderately leveled players. No one seems to feel or want to be connected because everyone's afraid of each other through the competitive nature of trying to be better than everybody else. And I just feel like that identity gets really warped, and it makes a lot of friction with other people, and it really like makes people feel so 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 damaged by the state of how the community is, how there's little care for one another, and even there's judgment, or we tend to like record each other for what people say on streams and try to use it against that person who is streaming, and starts to build an image that turns very toxic. No matter, it kind of is hard to mitigate it, even if it's positive or negative. There's something always a downfall when we kind of do these things that I keep wondering if there's just another way, because it really does mitigate our connection to build community for games.
Hmm. Okay. Thanks, Theo. Who would like to try reflecting Theo back to Theo? All right, Sash.
So the premise is you've been getting back into FPS games, stuff like the big mainstream, kind of the mainstream playstyle. And that's been showing to be pretty difficult with how the nature of the game and its competitiveness, along with a lot of other people just being really abrasive, is an uphill battle. And on top of that, with you streaming, it becomes a matter of a lot of people just kind of clipping things you say, and it starts to get used against you, whether it's good or bad. And it's just overall difficult to get back into it.
I think what's really difficult is I don't feel like I'm connected to a person in that community that feels like they're my friend.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you added that second part, Theo, was that because you had said that and you felt like Sash didn't get it, or you were adding another layer?
Yeah, it felt like there was that last bit more of how I felt about it that could have been touched on, because it's like what I said earlier. I didn't feel connected to the spaces or with anybody because of the labeling.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Thanks for sharing that, Theo. It's definitely lonely to play games with people that are not really connected to themselves. It's hard to build relationship. Yeah, thank you, Sash. Who else wants to share a pain point? Next.
I have a unique one if you'd like to hear it.
Go for it, Aya.
My unique pain point is people not realizing the connections around them. It feels extraordinarily disheartening. I do a lot of community outreach for multiple communities, and some of them have conflicts with each other. One in particular right now is in the midst of rebuilding itself. And there's conflict between either side. But the connections that people don't see and how it affects other communities and groups, it bothers me, because we're all here together, and there are a lot of things that, if calmer heads were to prevail, it would be a lot smoother for people. And I would be almost not needed in that position. But here I am.
Wow. Thank you. Somebody you want to reflect Aya back?
Yeah, I can do that, I think.
Welcome, Carl.
And of course, my dog starts whining as soon as I speak up. You'll have to wait now. Yeah, I hear you. You're kind of hearing about situations, or kind of seeing situations from the outside where, like, maybe the answer, the path seems more apparent to you, and people just aren't getting it, and that can lead you leaving you very frustrated, or kind of wishing somebody had asked you. Sorry, the dog's distracted me a bit too. He's getting more insistent. But yeah, I feel like that was the thrust of it there. The idea that you see the way, but get frustrated when other people aren't.
Does that resonate, Aya?
Yeah, did I hear you?
Not quite.
Yeah, what'd I miss?
It's more the connection between other communities. When things go bad, people often look inwards to their own communities. It's almost tribalistic. So that's the part that actually disturbs me, as opposed to reaching out to others.
So it has to do with the cross-community bridging. Would you say that?
Seeing so. Yeah, so it feels like what I missed there was the idea, maybe not that, you have all the answers, but that people need to be, need to open themselves up and, look elsewhere rather than having this kind of inner turmoil that just kind of boils and goes nowhere. But like, we've seen that the help is out there if you ask for it, know where to look.
That's interesting. Thank you. And thank you both for doing that next layer. It's totally normal for us to not always hear each other completely, but trying to get
Or like latch on to a small part of miss the bigger picture.
Yeah, thank you, Aya. Sounds like more bridge making needed between communities.
That's pretty well what I do.
Well, welcome to Bridge Makers.
Yeah.
Yay.
I could go next too if we want.
Okay.
I've actually got not a nebulous cop out. I think I have an actual situation this week that kind of I started, maybe that's why my mind went the wrong way with Aaliyah. Is it Aya or I'm blurred? Aya. Okay. Aya. Okay. Sorry. But yeah, that it started reminding me of my own situation that I had kind of been thinking on today is sharing. And but it was, more small scale personal thing, but it was something that, as moderators, it was like brought up as a ticket, and they're like, this person's a manipulator and they're doing all these things, and they provided us plenty of anecdotal description and plenty of like screenshots of conversations, but nothing really that amounted more than just relational drama. And we've had that in the past too. Like it's not an uncommon thing, but generally people kind of accept that when we tell them, not our problem. We recommend you block them and let us know if they harass you by going around a block or anything like that, breaking our rules. But beyond that, like, it's between you guys. But this recent one, folks were kind of just like, they pretty much were, in as many words, were speechless and, left right after that and chose not to stick around the community because, we chose not to ban their ex. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing is like, I wish there was a period there before they left when they had expressed dissatisfaction that I maybe could have spoke up in the ticket and tried to make our position more clear, but I didn't really think that was going to help. Like our position was about as clear as it could be. They just didn't like our position. So explaining it more, I didn't think would really help.
Wow.
Good timing. Dog wants in now. All right. Who wants to reflect me?
Silent.
I can try.
Oh, I is going to try. Oh, we got multiple. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you said silent first. Yeah. Rochambeau.
That's right. All right, Simon, go for it.
I'm not a fan of battling, but okay. So what I've heard, or what I heard from you, is you had this situation where you're acting as a moderator, and was, at least from your perspective, it's interpersonal drama that the person here you're moderating for on behalf of, I guess, doesn't agree. But what I heard from you, like the very end there, it seemed like the pain was coming from like being unable to convey to this person like kind of what the position was kind of clearly, or like why, and like you wish that you could have conveyed essentially what you mean to this person, and you feel like you weren't able to.
Yeah, like they understood our position, but not our reasoning, and I don't think there'd be much to do there. Yeah, that was the kind of core of the frustration. So I'd say that you heard what I was saying there.
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like I did slightly cut you off there. Did you have more that you wanted to say?
That was it. I know I was very very much shortened, but
Hmm.
that's kind of
That's often what I feel like
what
I'm
I
doing
felt.
too, is just summarizing.
I guess what I felt from you is that the pain wasn't like so much in the situation; it was more in like the aftermath.
Hmm.
Yeah,
At the end.
That it ended with them leaving. Yeah, for sure. That, to me, that's pretty much one of the worst outcomes, is somebody choosing to abscond.
Yeah. And I hear a deeper layer there, which is like you wish you had something else to explain there that had been a bridge for them. And yet you didn't
Right.
have it. So there wasn't a bridge that worked for them. They asked for help. You couldn't help them the way they asked for. And then they just left.
Yeah.
And that hurts. Yeah.
Because I'm really on both ends. Like, I want both of the people on either side to still feel fine existing in the ancients, regardless of their situation. Like, it's just, maybe a little bit of effort if you see their name on an event to not go to it. But beyond that, like, just there's too many people. All right, I could start ranting about my pain point all night, but that's not what we're doing.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I think this is a bigger piece about, when we're taught moderation, we're taught about explaining our boundaries clearly. But we're not taught about how to be flexible and how to grow and iterate off of different pain people are bringing us, and when to do that and when not to do that. So sometimes there's just a dead end there.
And I often think like Bridgemakers is kind of the answer to my fantasy answer of that. If, everything was just like 10 years down the line and we had all the answers ready to dish out, but like to like offer to those people like we're not going to ban them, but we will offer a mediated conversation if that's something you're open to discuss boundaries and the type of setting that this community is versus where your relationship went. That it's kind of incompatible things, but
that's it.
try and help you through it a little bit.
How do we negotiate space in a third space, in a pixel universe? How do we make space for each other when we don't want to orbit closely or run into each other? Because in this place, running into each other means literally you can run into each other. And it is a lot when we have a lot of emotional charge to think of somebody that we're so charged up about running through our physical beings or whatever. It's like, whoa. Yeah. Yeah. So that is part of the questions we're exploring. How do we give people some redirection without completely breaking leaders in the process? Because every compromise or every stretch that a leader does can really bend them and burn them out eventually. But also holding a fully solid wall there can burn us out in a different way because we feel heartless or we feel soulless. And
Corporate.
yeah, we feel corporate, right? Yeah. That's the C word in Bridge Makers that comes up a lot. Good time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Carl. That is a very real pain point. Who else? I think Aya, you went. Who hasn't gone? Fro, you haven't gone.
I could go.
Okay. And 7, yeah.
Yeah, so I think like it was earlier this week, or at least within the last week. I felt like I had sort of a mini revelation about some works and issues I've been going through lately. Um, and sort of relearning a lesson that I actually had learned like at the beginning of the year, but it was sort of like I guess I just forgot or it dissolved away. But there was this understanding that like why do I make art? Why do I make avatars and worlds and stuff? But it's like there is a deeper reason, and it's like this psychological thing that I had like kind of unlocked and figured out really like a little while back now. And it's about just being seen and acknowledged, and this like deep or inner desire to feel like people will pay attention to me. And it's frustrating because it feels so selfish to say like, well, why, like that's attention, or just to have people look at me. But it's really like this deeper, like lifelong problem that I've been having for such a long time, where subconsciously, I've been realizing that there's this like deep core desire to have people, like come into my life and to see like the whole truth of me, and to be a part of me and want to know who I am and connect with me. And because it doesn't really make sense to go up and ask people that, I feel like I have to put myself out there and just make things or present things in ways that make people pay attention to me, and to draw them into my life by standing out, being unique. And it's like this constant realization that like I do this in like so many of my actions. Whenever I'm playing any video game, I pick the avatar that looks the most weird or strange or unique. Whenever I'm in conversations, I feel like I want to bring up subjects that are like stuff people haven't heard about before, but in ways that don't feel like they're just coming out of nowhere. Um, and I feel like I spend all this time learning about how the mind works so that I can be an expert on these more esoteric concepts that then, people can come to me and ask questions for. And it's this, like, I don't know, feeling of lack in my life that I didn't really receive a lot in childhood, and trying to compensate for that by bringing people in to pay attention to me. But then I also get really perfectionistic about, I can't just throw anything out there. I have to make it like perfect and like, something that matters and is reasonable, or like interesting for people. Like it can't just be any old thing that I throw out there. And so it's been a huge roadblocker for me to build up any sort of like online presence, where I just don't make any social media platform or profiles or anything. And I keep starting projects, but I don't finish them. And it's just like this endless cycle of all these little problems that I'm like realizing, because it was something I was really like like brought to my attention earlier this year, and it was just something I was writing in a journal, and I was just realizing like, oh right, because I want to be seen, I want someone to look inside me, I guess, in that kind of a more metaphorical state. So it's like, I know it sounds complicated, but like all of that is basically what I've just been going through and processing and trying to figure out what to do with that. And yeah, that's essentially my pain point.
Wow.
Um,
Thank you. All right. Who would like to reflect forward or back? Dio. Okay.
There was a lot of similarities of how I feel about that situation, but I'll keep it
Mm.
to the container of reflective. So you express yourself so deeply in the projects and creations you want others to understand how it is being you, so that people can listen to you more, be attentive to want to follow you in a way, follow or cherish or guide you, which is what wasn't what you said, but it that is how you are searching for something dear, and like you want to balance these things. You're compensating. Your pain point is compensating, trying to um, make answers through your time and energy for the projects, but then recognizing a lot of it is really backed up on if there isn't any progress to what this work I put in gets seen or is how to say, to be noticed and to be like inspired by, then what kind of presence am I leaving behind to allow myself to grow for myself and others, is what I feel like I heard you say.
Mm. Yeah, no, I think that makes sense the way you put it.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Mm. Yeah, it's about acknowledgement, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, and
I
I
have a.
think. Oh, go ahead.
I
Yeah.
was about to say I have a question about your acknowledgement.
Okay.
Do you seek your acknowledgement in yourself as well, or do you only find the validation in others? 'Cause
Um,
that sounds like it really hurts.
are we allowed to discuss more? I
Yeah,
don't
it's a
mind. I
good.
just don't know
Yeah, thank you.
because I'd like
We
to, but
Yeah, we do sometimes offer people questions that are kind of like doorways that don't actually turn into a conversation here, but they become
hmm
a journey for somebody to go and find answers to that question. So I think there's a gift in that, you know. And
hmm
I feel like there is a deeper piece that you were talking about in what you said, which was that
mm
you're finding that you end up blocking people's access to you to some degree by this need for really sparkly, interesting things to put out to kind of grab their attention, but also blocking yourself in
mm
not being able to give enough access to people because you get stuck in the, but is it the best thing? Is it the right thing? Is that
mm
going to really bridge? So there's this hunger to be seen, but here you're putting distractions up or you're withholding because, but neither of those are you getting seen. It's just like
hmm
one is like a really sparkly bridge that doesn't lead back to you, and the other is like totally shut down, kind of stuck in the is it good
mm
enough? Does that fit?
Yeah, absolutely. But to answer Aya's question, yes, it is for other people to see me. I think I understand myself pretty well, and there's not much more I can do to understand myself. It's like you can't hug yourself, you know. It's like you need other people, and so yeah.
Hmm.
Um, I'll
Yeah.
leave it at that. But if
Yeah.
we want to talk later, I'm open to that.
Yeah. Well, and I would say, like, look at that again, as a question of
Mm,
um,
mm-hmm,
sometimes we
mm,
don't let people see us because we haven't seen all of us yet. So,
mm-hmm.
yeah. Thank you. Okay. What other pain points are here that have not been, who hasn't gone yet? All right.
I haven't gone
I
yet.
see
Silent
two
and
hands.
Sash. Okay. Yeah. So let's go with Sash and then we'll go silent.
All right. Well, I guess the pain point for this week would be I don't know. I just been trying new hobbies as of recent, returning to old ones. I think I've been doing that because I have not found a lot of like yielded fruit in terms of like strength and community. Just kind of stuck in a ditch, so I've been trying new avenues, but it's a very slow process and it's hard kind of just feeling like I've abandoned those other like pursuits.
Mm.
So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place being do I start from scratch or do I try to recover what might have been lost?
Mm. Mm. Okay. Who would like to try reflecting Sash back?
I could. Did I? I don't think I did.
Go for it, bro.
So what I heard is you're trying to branch out and explore new hobbies to form more connections and to meet more people. But there's sort of this fear of like breaking off and doing something new and comparing that to the skills you already have. And if you want to put energy towards something that might lead to results versus working on what you already have, which could also maybe lead to results of connections. Um, so yeah, it sounds like a between a rock and a hard place. It is not easy to
Yeah.
figure out what's the right choice. So that's what I heard.
Yeah, I think it is a matter of decision. Thank you.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Sash.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Silent.
I have thoughts and advice, but I'm not going to say because it's not the time.
Yeah.
Pain point. All right. So I have, I guess, uh, there's this project that I've been working on for a really long time at this point. It's been over a year. I have earlier this week kind of, I took a few breaths and put it back on my shelf of like projects because I have just like not have I've just not been having fun working on this. Like it's something that I really want to make. I really want to make eventually, but I put it on back on the shelf for now. Um, that being said, there's definitely still like there's that itch in the back of my mind. Like I wanna keep working on it. Like and there's yeah I don't know. It's so there is still this like itch in the back of my mind, and that itch has like a couple of components. There is the there is like the habitual nature of it, but there's also like a community behind this where I'm making this for a community. I've been working on this for a year and a half, and I'm not gonna do it, right? Like basically I've stopped working on it. I'm not gonna do it, and that's been kind of like difficult to sit with. I've started on a new project, something different, and I've been having a lot more fun working on that, but it's still kind of there. It's still like, man, I wish I could finish it, but right now I'm just not like in the headspace to continue working on that specific project. And it's like, oh, yeah. Anyway, that's my pay point.
Yeah. Well. All right. Who would like to try reflecting Silent back? All right. Aya.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is your feelings of obligation to a community for a project you're doing. You're branching out into doing other projects, and yet it's kind of a lingering emotion, almost not really guilt, but one of obligation. The only thing that I would potentially see is that that there are skills there, even if a project is unfinished, that should be warranted as well. But from what I'm seeing, that's not reflected.
All right, Silent, did you feel heard, or
I do feel heard. I suppose I'm not sure what you mean by that last part, but before that, yes, I think that is obligation is a good word. There's like that lingering feeling that persists, even though like I've done my best to make peace with it, but I clearly haven't like completely, which is fine. You know, it's fine, but still there.
Yeah, something residual lingers in you. Gotcha. Thank you, Silent. Okay, who else? Pain points. All right, Skipus.
So my pain point this week, I basically had I don't know, like a project I was working on with a friend a few months ago, and due to some life circumstances, I got shut down. I couldn't participate in it anymore. And it was something I was really looking forward to working on. It's just been kind of lingering in my mind, just the feeling of like very much a lost opportunity that's been weighing on me. And I'd kind of been hoping that after some time had passed, I would be able to kind of participate in some way. But I had a conversation with him this week, and it looks like it's not happening. So it's just a very disappointing feeling of just kind of a closed off path in my life that I could have gone down that I no longer am able to. And I have to figure out some other way to express the, I don't know, just like the desire to put myself into a project and aim that energy somewhere else. But I don't know where that is yet, so I'm just feeling a little bit lost while I figure that out.
Yeah, thank you, Skipus. Okay, who'd like to try reflecting Skipus back? Or has everybody gone? I'm trying to remember.
I think everyone went.
Is it me? Okay. Okay, cool. All right, Skipus. So I hear that there was a project between you and someone else a few months ago that got stalled or interrupted. And you had the hope that with giving it some time, you could pick it back up with them. But recently you reached out and found out that it's not going to move forward, and all that creative energy you've just been kind of sitting on doesn't have a direction anymore. So you're trying to redirect that and start to vision where else it can go, but also grieving the loss of this thing that you've been working towards.
Yeah.
Did I hear you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. BTW Sash didn't reflect. Oh, way to keep track. Sash, have you not reflected?
Oh.
I thought you did.
Pretty sure I reflected the
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my bad. I
That's
guess I'm the
funny.
one not keeping track.
That's hilarious. Cool. Okay. Has
It's all good.
anybody not shared their pain points yet? All right. Let's see. My question is, do I have a pain point to share? I feel like there are pain points, and then there are mountain peak pain points. So I like this world because I'm like, my pain point is one of the tallest mountains in this world, and it it is just the howl in me of how to tell people that I'm in pain without it shutting them down and they run away. And usually that shutting down and running away looks like they ghost me. They just disappear and become less responsive. And so I end up living a life where I have to stay positive all the time and stay very emotive. And the moment that like warmth disappears, I get ghosted. And it's a really hard thing to offer so much of me all the time, and then the moment that I falter, people go very unconscious and they just disappear and they don't even know they've done it, which is, I think, the most painful part about it, is knowing that people are not aware that they've disappeared. They just got distracted and found something else that felt more interesting, and I've just left their map all of a sudden, and I might not be back on it until I reach out or until something else makes them remember, and they're like, oh yeah, didn't I say I was going to help with something or whatever? So how that looks on the ground is December is a pretty hard month for me every year. If it's not physical illness, it's just a lot of things falling apart and falling through. So every year I try to let people know that ahead of time and ask for help extra in December with the community pieces I'm holding especially. And this year feels like the black hole is already sucking all the emotion out of it for people, and I'm getting less and less responses and little signs of rage quitting in people that people just kind of withdraw their RSVPs or whatever, but they don't say anything directly to me. And that just it aches. It aches in such a deep way when I'm feeling so unsteady myself and trying to protect myself and everybody else from this black hole month for me, where like I'm really, every year I consider this, but this year I'm also considering maybe just even shutting down our server, our Bridgemaker server, for the month or for part of the month, because we don't have enough help to carry it without me being on like 24/7. And I do that all the other parts of the year, but this is the one month where I do try to get more help, and I'm not getting the amount of help that I need. So it's all falling on mostly one other person, and that's pretty crushing for them. So I'm hurting and kind of just feeling like a lot of darkness is coming around me right now, and I don't see darkness as bad or wrong or negative. I just see it as like a weather pattern. It's very consistent. And some of it is my own history and my own mental health, but some of it is also just the cycles of winter, and my immune system goes down. So I just have less capacity in this month. So I'm aching, and I think if everybody has already tried reflecting back, Escapist, did you do reflective listening? Can't remember.
No, I didn't.
Oh, would you like to try?
Yeah, I can try.
Okay. Yeah. I'll call.
So what I heard is that you're having a difficult time this time of year, being on top of everything, just because you have to deal with more than usual, and that you feel a little bit hurt because you put so much of yourself and your effort into things, and the one time that you need like somebody else to kind of step in and help pick up the pace a little bit, it doesn't happen, and then people kind of tend to withdraw when you express that that's a thing that's happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for getting that. I think it's that place where I end up supplementing. It's a little weird of a statement, but I end up being everybody's emotional, social lubricant of sorts at the moment that I am not providing that cushion. People get scared and they disappear, but they don't stay conscious of that. They just vanish. So thanks for hearing that. And yeah, this one bubble that we create, once a week for just a few minutes, where it's the one place I can say something like that and have built a bridge with all of you that you're not going to rush in and problem solve that or fix it. The rest of the time you can try to problem solve it or fix it, but it's really just about staying present and showing up and recognizing that, everybody, all the leaders we see around us, they have their dark periods, they have their dark days and their dark months. And the more we can look for those moments and try to show up for those, the more we keep communities from breaking into silos and not communicating with each other anymore and turning into drama loops. So thank you everybody for hearing that. So sometimes we do a second thing with the pain points we've shared. And I'm not sure if we're going to do that today as much, but I wonder, I've been thinking about, everybody seems to be getting better at reflective listening every week here. And tonight was also some really good practice, especially with some newbies in here. One of the pieces I might bring next week or the week after is, has anybody here ever heard of motivational interviewing other than Carl? Because I told Carl about it earlier today.
No, I haven't.
No?
I probably have experienced it, but I don't know the definition too well, besides what it sounds like.
It's kind of a second layer on top of reflective listening. It's a little bit of an emotional seesaw that helps people find access to their flow and their energy again and get creative. But it's a very subtle art. And so it's kind of like reflective listening with a little feather on top of it. There's not a lot to it. And most people overdo it, and therefore it isn't motivational. It's squash and collapse interviewing. So it's a good tool for life to learn what what the difference is between, building a bridge that holds and allows for more growing and building a bridge that collapses everything, and how very subtle that can be, but how powerful it can be at the same time, to find that ambivalent spot and just work it a little bit with each other. So if we have a server still active next week, I'm on the fence there, definitely. Then maybe next Friday we'll dive into that a little bit, and I might get a little video put together so it kind of identifies the core pieces. But yeah, I think motivational interviewing is a really good tool for anybody who's trying to build community to have. It's hard to run that particular skill set on ourselves because we're way too cognitive with ourselves, so we'll catch ourselves doing it. But practicing it with each other can be really interesting and helpful. So, yeah, that's the sketch of the plan for next week. I know there was a lot of kind of there's a theme today of just feeling a bit like lost or lonely, or feeling like we're missing the mark with each other. We care, but we don't know how to share that we care in a way that gives us more energy and a sense of hope. So Just appreciating that theme. I'm curious if anybody else noticed any other themes in what people shared today, or what's on your heart, that you're holding with the heaviness of what was shared. A few observations. You're welcome. What it's like to listen to people talk about their pain and not fix it. Yeah, were you jumping because you were raising your hand?
Yes. I wasn't sure whether or not to use the emote or just jump, so I
Yeah,
chose jump
that
this
works.
time.
Yeah, go for it.
I would say the few pain points that I noticed that are reoccurring themes are not only loss of connection, but either self isolating problems where there's not like a wanting to build new connections. Like there's that little spot, and that's something I can see a lot of people struggling with. It's not always an easy task.
Yeah, something's blocking us. There's disappointment, there's grief, there's something, and it's not like, and my pain leads to hope. It's just like, and my pain is there. Yeah. Yeah, that's real. And this is the place to bring it like that, like the silver lining part. Depending on where we stand, we can all see a silver lining on something. It's embedded in us, but it's very rare that we get to say, there's no silver. It's just gray. It's just dark. I don't like it. I'm going to say that out loud and survive that with each other and see ourselves come back and try again. That really matters. So,
It's the brilliant. Oh, whoops, sorry.
Go ahead.
I accidentally hot mic'd. I was about to say it's the brilliance of the moonlight, but
Yeah, in all the darkness we can see other light reflected. But I think what we do here is we kind of just howl at the moon, We don't look for the reflection, we just howl at it. It's like, ow, this hurts. This is so hard. Yeah. And there's no moon in the sky. So this is also a period of time where we can shift perspectives. Instead of looking inward and saying, how does me impact my community building? We can also say, how does this impact community building? This space that we're in. How does this place make community or break community? And who is this world built for? And who is it not built for? Who would feel more isolated, more lost, more rejected, more erased in this space? And so we can start with this one, and then we can also go through some other worlds that maybe will present themselves. We try to keep them quest-friendly spaces, just in case somebody's on a quest or joins us. And Carl is already...
I've got one in mind.
You've got a world, or you're thinking about this world?
Yeah. I'm saying both.
Yeah. So yeah, we can transition into walking around here, and this world, of course, is not necessarily made for what we just used it for, even though I think it was a great spot for that too.
Yeah, I was waiting for Carl to put down the campfire because
see,
this would have been a good campfire spot.
I forgot to actually say something earlier.
Better late than never.
I know, right?
Yay.
You're standing on one foot. Oh, it's because you're flying. I was like, wow. Yeah, that has a whole other vibe to it. That's great. It's funny that we didn't have that
animation.
But Aya was telling me that this is an actual world. This is a space and physical reality without the hotel.
Yeah.
So
well, if you subtract the hotel and you look at this canyon, it's Lake Louise.
Yeah.
It's a recreation of it.
Yeah.
I've gone canoeing on this lake.
Oh. Is it this flat normally? Like,
Yeah, it's pretty flat.
wow.
Up close, it usually isn't. It's just they're missing like a log house to the. Oh wait, no, maybe they're not. I was gonna say there's a log house to the left of the lake where you go and get your
Yeah,
boats and stuff
I
like
got
that.
their
So it
boats
looks
over
like
there. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
But if you look at the view head on, that's what it looks like in real life.
Is this the one? Actually, now I'm looking at this. Is this the one that there's like a specific view that a bunch of people take pictures of?
Yep.
Okay, is that one? Okay.
Yeah, that's one of them. And usually when the sun sets around here, it's very gorgeous by the mountains.
I bet. Wow.
I think I.
Do you know this world?
Just a moment. The kettle's on.
Do you
Oh.
know if they?
Okay, yeah. Now that I'm like out of the trees, like I recognize that
Oh,
actually.
I bet if I've seen the.
Anyone else notice you fly here?
You can hold
Wait, what?
spacebar and you can fly.
How do I
Hold
fly?
the
I'm
left
in
trigger
VR.
to
don't
move
think-
up and aim with your right.
Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. That happened. Woo. Ah, that was a lot.
Well, just
Use
Careful.
your right
people
trigger,
just start-
aim, and use your right trigger to fly. Left trigger to just move up and down.
Wow.
Faster than my default flight.
It's the same.
Yeah, that's
same
a
mechanics in Test Pilot.
stomach churning fly. I
I've been
appreciate that
real bad.
one of the answers to how does this world make community is Aya actually came to our meeting space today because of the world we're in. Because Aya knows this place. So that's we could, if we stayed here long enough, we might get a whole flurry of tourists who love this world because they know it in physical reality. And yeah, it definitely made some community tonight. I also appreciate that we came here originally from another bridge maker, Astral, who brought us here. It's a really interesting driving path to go along and actually drive a car.
What a
it
coincidence.
It loops all the way around the world. Oh, do you know Astral?
Nice.
Yes, I do know Astral.
Nice.
I'm friends with Astral on here.
Yay. Yeah, so the drive itself, I've been to quite a few driving worlds in VR chat, and I think this one was probably the most calming one that I've been in. It really felt like is that a Breaking Bad sticker?
No, it's Steve from Minecraft. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. That's quite an emoji for this space. But yeah, so who do you think this world is not good for? Like how could this actually do some harm to people who are trying to grow community when they came here?
Well, it's so massive. I'm sure someone will fly off and just completely lose track of where the rest of the group is.
Whoa. There
Also,
goes
I can't
Carl.
get the flying to work.
Oh, if you
I have to
hold
pull.
your left trigger and jump, then you will go very far. There you go. Wow. Leapfrog. Whoa. Yeah.
I think what I thought was maybe the space could be a bit boring because it represents something that you could go outside and do. Maybe.
Could be.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
could be a detriment to more game-centric communities.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think that when I've come to these spaces before, specifically the car driving ones, the idea of watching a car drive by that has all these like super weird random avatars inside, and often the cars do not stop to pick me up necessarily, that can feel kind of like the party has come and gone. And so I think for events where a lot of newbies might be coming in, a community might need to organize themselves to respawn and greet people, so that people aren't feeling like, so when we pick that spot over there, keeping it within the eye shot of the people spawning in, staying mindful that in here, not welcoming somebody is a type of identity loss for them, even if we don't think of it like that, because in physical reality, that's not as true. In virtual reality, people feel erased when people don't get greeted pretty quickly. They'll disappear. So,
You know what it's kind of evocative of for me, and maybe just because I had watched the first episode again recently, but Severance, a kind of like northern,
Love that show.
perpetually winter, mountainy, nondescript, weird big buildings in the distance. And like this does kind of have a liminal with like the perpetual sunset that doesn't get lighter or
Yeah.
darker, and
mm.
the longer you're here, I think the
Liminal.
more eerie it starts to feel.
But it's not Lake Erie, but yes, it might feel a little haunted for sure. Yeah. Any other reflections on who this world would be good for as far as building community and who it would not?
I guess it's like a limitation of VR chat, but in order to have long driving sections, if the world was as populated as like most worlds, it would just be impossibly big for VR chat. So it kind of has to be liminal and slimmed down just to make it so that you don't lag when you drive around everywhere. Which does kind of take away that the world, it kind of is self-defeating based on VR chat's limitations in a strange way. But I bet if they used more technical, like LOD models and stuff, they could probably get away with making it so like every square inch isn't super bland. But I do think that for the sense of like, well, I want a world where I can just drive for like several minutes and not go in like the same tree or the same building over and over. It does fulfill that, I think. And it does recreate a real place too. So there's that sense of like, I know this place. I'm familiar with it. And I want to go and explore like that in VR with my friends who can't go and see it in real life.
That's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, I am always impressed by things that are recreations of like a trying to be faithful to a real place.
Yeah. The other thing I've noticed is that the vehicles, I think maximum allow for 4 people in them. And that can split up the group vibe. Like I've been to worlds where you can get 20 people inside of a little bus. And those are like wild to actually drive around a space like this with 20 people inside. And the role plays that just start to naturally evolve, and the flashbacks to bus driving and all that is turns into quite a ride. But when you split up the energy, even for us, right, like if we went in 2 different vehicles, it doesn't hold that group energy we've been building anymore, and that can be uncomfortable and kind of like lost a little bit. So I see you thinking deeply, Silent. You got anything to add before we go to the next one?
Actually, no.
Okay. Cool.
Slightly.
All right. So another thing to think about as we go to these different worlds is thinking about what's the next level that could be added to this world. If we're not thinking technologically and we're just thinking about the community we might bring here and what would make that community feel more welcome, or like this was this magical community building moment for them, what would that look like? So I'm going to give you kind of a comical version of this for you to try your teeth on, but let's go to the Arctic Ocean.
Oh.
I missed the flying already.
See, this
Yeah.
would be perfect for flying.
Oh, but you can enable
Mhm.
swimming.
Oh, I'm turning up my swim speed
Oh gosh.
if I fall in the
Nice plunge.
Yeah. Mute swimming sound.
Jump up here.
Yeah. So, kind of frigid, right? But,
A little bleak.
Way to put it.
Wow. Silent, you're like a pretzel. And, I think about this world and I think the only way to decorate this world is with avatars that would allow us to fit the world better. Does anybody have avatars that fits this world?
I feel like penguins would make sense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we've got a
I
dolphin.
don't collect other people's avatars as much, so I
You
don't.
don't. Hmm. Let's see.
Dolphin wouldn't be in this type of environment, though.
Probably not. But,
Oh,
this works. Welcome to the Ice Age.
Man.
Let's see.
This is my final moment as a mammoth. I'm the last remaining mammoth on this planet.
You're in trouble.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
I'm gonna get eaten by a dog.
Shit.
Yeah. And if these are the avatars that actually do hook to each other. Oh, look.
Yeah, I think I'm going to turn towards you for the fighting.
Silence a
Aw.
bubble whale? What kind of whale are you, Silence?
It's Tony.
Tony. Hello, Tony.
Sorry,
Aw.
it's just the way I
It's
turned to see
Tony.
the face just as you said that.
Oh, and we've got, remind me what this one is called?
axolotl.
An axolot.
axolotl.
Right, yeah.
Oh, I've seen this one.
Oh, and we've got a gorilla. Look at that. And a dancing dolphin and a stick figure. Sasha's like, I'm the cave drawing that will
Oh,
happen.
wait. Yep. This one can kind of reply.
I like this.
I'm a seal.
Look at we're this whole community who has
Seal.
modified our images to fit the world. And that tells us a little bit about how spaces sometimes need to be painted by the people in them. Wow, that's an interesting call of the wild coming from the wolf. Yeah, so,
For something completely
oh
different.
gosh. Oh my.
Giraffe in a club.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
So who do we imagine that this world was actually created for? Like, what kind of community was this person trying to attract other than prehistoric creatures?
If I had to guess, maybe it was sort of like an environmental art project. Like, I want to make an ice world. And they did everything they could to kind of, meet those requirements.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't have anything else going for it.
Yeah.
You all may not know, but in Legends
Oh.
Arceus, this Pokemon was found in the icy region.
Yeah.
go.
Thank you, Carl, for sharing that important detail about your avatar. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then do we see this as becoming a real turnoff for anybody who would come to this world and feel confused about it?
You look very cold. You're like shivering.
Sorry.
Doesn't
Yeah.
help it.
Your animation rapidly plays.
It does make some
extremely
really weird antics, I guess. That
I mean,
move.
it does have, if you forgive me, a chill atmosphere. It is just kind of ever so like there is like a really faint. Is it just ambience? I thought I heard like a woo kind of.
shrimp.
I think that was your
Maybe it's
child.
just the waves. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it probably was.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it like to change avatars? Whoa. If I put my head up like this, I can see inside the beaver's mouth as it talks. And that's really, really gross, weird looking.
There is a weird square in the sky that makes me feel like we're actually inside of a box and we're very tiny.
Yeah,
and there's a giant out
the
there.
edges of the skybox
Like a Truman
are
Show
not...
kind of deal.
It's like the Truman Show.
Oh, yeah.
It's
The
all
Ice
fake.
Age
It's all in
scene.
VR. We're living in a hologram.
When you change avatars, what does it feel like to be here in a different avatar? Do you feel like you belong more or not quite?
There's definitely certain avatars that you would say, like, you know, I don't think this lady's having a good time here.
Stand out more.
With every
I can
clan
definitely
avatar that's
tell
been
you
created.
there's some.
She's just very cold.
She's
All right.
very
Hey, Silence all dressed out in the outfit. You actually look like you
Yeah,
belong
there we
here.
go. I was
There you
hoping I
go.
had
Yeah, there we
something with
go.
like a coat on or something. I think this. Oh wait, I got a hoodie, but I don't think he's wearing pants. So kind of self-defeating.
Yeah, not so much.
I don't
love
have
all the
enough avatars that have
the
coats, I'm
avatars
realizing.
that everybody has put together. I think there's something so cozy about being able to like sort of resemble the world but not take it too seriously. Have you all ever noticed that? How people change avatars but they don't comment on them when they're hanging out with each other? So it's just kind of like a revolving Pokemon card kind of journey.
Look what I collected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This guy looks warm.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're all ready for the weather. Okay, let's try this one now. The beaver says we're gonna go to Ascension.
Ooh. I have been.
Wow.
Whoa.
Sash, are you a cockroach? Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
That was quite the
A little
avatar to
robot
turn into.
holding up a little guy.
Just a bug. I love it.
Aww.
I love this one.
Silly.
Aw, that's so
Little-
cute. Wow. Uh-oh. Did I glitch?
These are constraints that are like really well done. But
That's
the
hilarious.
resnapping, that's really
Wow.
fun. Okay, I should switch into a space avatar. Just
I
those who
know.
The cockroach kind of works.
Well, I will return to.
Already.
Yeah. Space cockroach.
You know a thing that makes me sad? I like when I use all public avatars, so a lot of times they just go unavailable after a while, and VR chat like updates the rules or people delete them or whatever, and you don't know what that avatar is
Exactly.
until you try and pick it one day.
Yeah, you can't even
and then
believe it.
you just can't find it. Like, I had a single flood guy, like the little like bulbs with all the little wispy tentacles from Halo. I wanted to switch into that, but I cannot find it.
Oh, it's Outer Wilds.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
So good.
Okay, so here we are. We're at the world of Ascension, which is like I'm thinking this might be our graduation world for our helper too. Tomorrow we're going to play some games that he created in Discord, and then we're going to come into VR for a little bit and wish him well on his walkabout. And seems like a fitting end to somebody who's served with Bridgemakers for over a year, technically, if we count Helper 1 and Helper 2. But this is also the time in our 2-hour hop where we're going to switch between the question of how does this world make or break community to actually circling up and finishing our time together. Before we switch into the appreciation game, are there any other reflections about what we're seeing in these spaces on how they can grow community or break it?
I didn't really. Is there pretty much just this platform here? It looks like it goes up and around and behind.
There's little meeting spots in these different areas.
I think the availability of a media player makes or breaks a lot of how a world is used for people.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That is a big one.
Because it kind of pulls everybody towards the screen, but it also can keep people from really connecting.
No, I'd say the opposite. It can let people connect. 'Cause a lot of times, what I've experienced in like casual, just kind of hang out, friends plus kind of thing. If you're hopping around, and you're trying to find a place to, just be there and spend some time with people. People play music a lot of the times. So if there's a world without any sort of music or background noise, and it doesn't have a media player, it just kind of is perceived as like boring.
Is a lot like
happening.
The fireplace before the TV when we would just sit around and stare at it. Tell stories sometimes.
Gives everybody some common vibe, but also if you don't like the music, then a warning of sorts. This is our vibe, and you might not like it here. That's great. I love all the astronaut emojis that people are trying on briefly, or planetary. Yeah. Any other reflections for this world? Silent.
I have an astronaut.
Clown astronaut.
I think you could invite reflection. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool and epic, but like because I know all the technical details that go into how it's created, I feel like they could have done a little bit more. But it is also a quest world, and I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, like because I don't know, I keep thinking about Silent showed off some shaders she worked on where he was able to get a planet to accurately be the right size and distance away from you, and I can tell that's just a big circle that's probably only 1,000 feet away, and not really like millions of miles away like a real planet. So I'm just sort of like
physics of it for not a world builder, but somebody that likes astronomy. Like there's no way a ring world like this is going to hold up this close to a body.
Well, I want to put a ring world in the skybox, but
oh yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah, I think there's some little bits that are off in the finer, subtle details that would really make it feel like a real space world aesthetic. Like it does everything it needs to, but it could go farther. And maybe I'm critiquing it too much, but I mean, it is beautiful. It's very cool. Like having the mountains scroll by, that is actually really interesting. And that's like pretty cool they got that working. I'm actually not exactly sure. I guess they could have the meshes only appearing way over there. But either way, it is pretty neat.
Yeah,
At
this is...
At least for me, there's a theme coming up right now in the... like mesh that's approaching.
Oh, I see the seam too, yeah. I had to get that.
It's just like chunks that are loaded and float by.
But I don't see the new ones pop in at the
What
edge,
about for you, Aya? How does this world make or break community?
I think of it I think of a lot of simplistic things that this world easily breaks communities in.
Yeah, like what?
The inability to summon a mirror as soon as you load in, which is usually a casual greeting spot. The inability to adjust the actual lighting of the world itself, like that is a huge one for some people because some people would find this oppressively bright. The lack
little
of
disclaimer.
dynamics aside from
Sorry, I thought you were done.
the ring.
Mm.
That's what I see being the failing points. Though it is
Yeah.
pretty to look at.
Yeah. Thank you for
Actually,
that.
that reminded me of one other detail. There's no shadows. I just I feel a
There's no
disconnect
shadows,
as I
right?
can't see where I exist. And I know that's probably like a quest thing, but you know, you can still have, I think, at least one light source. Quest and people.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's
that's a
a
really good
disclaimer
point.
of sorts right under the video player that says this is just a draft of an idea he had and wants to come back to it. So it wasn't even like a finished product.
Okay, that's like an acknowledgement.
Yeah, it's lovely though. Well, let's circle up. We're going to play the appreciation game now, which is who wants to define what the appreciation game is?
Well, I could say it's a game where we have a ball that we want to pass to each and every person where whoa.
Somebody
So we want to
Sorry, I have a seat.
turns passing and receiving. And so each person should receive the ball once and pass it once, or as best we can. But we don't want to pass to people who've already received, and we don't want to, well, yeah. So we want to try to spread it out evenly. And what we want to do specifically is to acknowledge something about each person that we thought was cool, that we really appreciated, and we want that person to just kind of receive and accept that gratitude. We don't want there to be like a whole conversation back and forth, but just say like, I really appreciated, what you said during today. Or you can say something simple like, I liked your avatar. And to, just try to throw it to someone who you will not expect it. You want to try to figure out what that person might not be anticipating. And that's sort of the challenge.
That's great. Thank you. The core part of this that's important for especially newbies to understand is we all grow each other in every moment we're around each other, whether we're consciously paying attention to it or not. And so whether or not you felt an affinity to somebody here, you can still find something about this person that has grown you. So even if you don't get to throw the ball to somebody who you appreciate the most, appreciation doesn't mean positive. It just means I measure that change has happened, that I feel myself in orientation to you, and I appreciate that contrast. So, yeah, but definitely throw it to somebody who's least expecting it from you, even if you're on desktop. This is about getting our bodies involved with the throwing and the catching, and we make it invisible because it's really about just like mirroring each other and holding that pose for a moment as much as possible. So I'm going to put the ball in the fire. There it is. Who would like to grab it first?
A roast ball.
Yeah, it's a hot ball. That's right.
It's a hot potato.
I'm going to creep very slowly forward.
Yeah. Oh, Silent's going to grab it.
Wow. Careful.
Silent gets it first. All right.
Just very, very slowly. No.
Yeah, I like it.
Hot ball.
It's hot ball.
All right. I will spike it over to Carl because I guess this is a thing I've been meaning to for a few weeks now. I really appreciate the theme of your avatars. Like, I don't know, like, it's just nice. Every time you switch into it, like a new clown, I'm just surprised, basically, and I'm just like, oh yeah, no. And I've been like sitting on this one for a few weeks, but it's like it is a pleasure every
Aw.
time, basically.
Yay. Aw.
Yeah, the library is ever growing
Mhm.
because they're always disappearing without me noticing, like I said before.
Oh no.
Oh.
The
Yeah,
missing
I've never
clowns.
uploaded anything myself. Everything is all public avatars I find.
We gotta make Carl an avatar.
I know, one that can't disappear. The visible
All right, so I
clown.
got the ball.
Sagan model.
It's on my head.
Juggling.
Yeah, we could talk, Trophy. There's ideas there, but and actually, well, that does lead into mine too. Honestly, was hoping I'd get a chance to throw it over to Trophy, or like it was just a.
Almost knocked him off.
It's in there, even if it isn't. He's got one.
It's rotating somewhere.
I got plenty. I can throw another one.
It got caught in the orbit.
Moon orbit.
Of those
That's right.
bodies.
Yes.
Nice. So yeah, it was just kind of one part of what you shared earlier, but you mentioned picking the zany oddball avatars to kind of get you noticed, to try to get that engagement, and I definitely resonate with that similar vibe, as was appreciated, but sometimes like you said, where it wasn't really the direction you went, but I think it can end up kind of minimizing or kind of becoming just like all you are. So I appreciated the kind of taking that element and exploring it.
Vulnerability. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I'll grab this one. Just gotta.
Oh wow, it's a big one. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna toss it to Escapist. Actually.
Escapist. Whoa, you got a planet. Nice.
Yeah. For one, love the avatar. Cool robot avatars are always actually secret favorite of mine, so I always appreciate seeing more of those. But I do actually really appreciate seeing a new face here who was very interested in figuring out what Bridge Makers is all about and to participate and to give it a try, even reflecting back to, hey, you even it seems like you're new to this, but you're doing really well so far. So I just wanted to send that appreciation your way.
Yay.
I appreciate it.
Aw.
Let's see. I'll toss it over to Sash.
Sash. Ooh, got it. Nice.
I appreciated what you were saying earlier for your pain point of just going over, like trying to decide between going forward with hobbies and skills and whatnot that you already had, or trying to figure out something new, even though it might be kind of a risk of being a waste of time or kind of it being an unknown. And I resonated a lot with that, just from my own previous experiences in life. So I just, I don't know, I just felt kind of a little connection there. Somebody else is experiencing the same thing that I've experienced.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Well,
he's spinning
I'm gonna, as I make my decision,
he disappeared.
I'm gonna toss it to. Toss it to Theo.
Oh, Theo.
Nice.
Ooh.
Well, I think with getting back to the communities with your pain point, I think your approach with it, trying to do the best with it, that optimism, I think, and then being able to admit your shortcomings, it does show some strength. I really like that part of your pain point, just knowing, admitting that there are flaws and there are like difficult parts of trying to get back to something that might be different now.
Mm.
It's something I relate with and appreciate you sharing with us.
Thanks, Sash.
Thank you, Sash. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a long process to grow in communities. So I'd like to throw ball to Aya.
Yeah. Ooh, did a twist. Nice. That's great. You got it, Aya.
Flip.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed from just hearing your first experience here at Bridgemakers. You are someone very innocent and genuine to allow yourself to build more of your understanding in a space like Bridgemakers, and it's just something pretty wonderful to where I started from. I am always envious of every newbie coming along, and hearing that you are friends with Astral makes me very very I well, how to say, not to just say expecting greatness from you, but also to say I think you have something big around the corner that you'll be very surprised to grow and become being in this space.
Mm.
Oh, thank you.
That's interesting. Theo is being a prophet. I predict big things for you.
Yeah, that's what it was. Predict.
No pressure, Aya.
Well, I was about to say, this is fairly easy for me. See if I can find an emote so I can throw a ball. There we go. Ready? I'm gonna toss it to over there. I don't know if I can toss that
is
far.
it coming?
Oh,
it went in the ground.
No collision
Okay.
on the floor.
I got it. Oh, okay. We'll see. I got it. There we go.
Well, though I don't know much about Bridgemakers or anything here, I do appreciate the warm welcomes and hospitality that I've received. Especially upon my initial arrival.
Yeah, I love the frilly dress you showed up in.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm glad you felt
I
warm.
usually play my music in it.
Yay.
Nice.
I know. That was how Aya showed up in that other world. It was lovely. Okay, well, let's see. I know Silent hasn't gone yet or gotten the ball. Has everybody else gotten the ball? Full circle? Wow.
Yep.
Look at us. We keep doing this. All right, Silent. Yeah. Oh my God. That's so cool. Hopefully it's not quite as spicy hot as before.
It's cooled down.
Since then.
It's cooled down. Good. So Silent, when you are around, I feel you listening really deeply, kind of like a tree next to a stream that has its roots very deep. So whether the stream is flowing or not, that tree keeps listening. So I always get curious as to where it's landing for you, but I just also feel very grateful to have a tree sitting next to our stream of consciousness for a moment.
Well, I suppose thank you for that. It's actually funny. I was actually just thinking to myself, like, I am allowing myself to be slightly less present than I usually am today. So I feel like I haven't been listening quite as closely today as I normally do. But I suppose, thank you still.
Yeah,
I guess it's still good to know that it's still being felt, even though I'm relaxing a bit more than usual.
Exactly. I'm really glad I gave you that today because I think your attention sometimes is like 200% compared to the average person, which sorry for your mathematical brain that I said 200%, but you give a lot of presence and a lot of attention. So turning that dial down sometimes can be totally acceptable and it still feels like you're yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the ball now and you've already thrown it. So you get to take that as a medal of having been semi-present again at Bridgemakers. Yeah. And that will conclude us after we get a photo together for tonight. Maybe if we all stand this way, we can all ascend into the ether after we get our photo. All right. So when I say 3, 2, 1, go ahead and shout out one word that fits with something you took from tonight, and I'll see what I can hear. And it can be any word, even something we didn't even encounter. So 3, 2, 1. Shout out your word.
Beavers.
Beavers. Oh my gosh.
Vision.
Visions. Wow, cool. I don't even know what to pick for that. Space works. We don't have a keyword for space. All right. So yes, emojis.
Surprise.
And we're going to say goodbye to our viewing audience, whoever that is. Thank you for joining us. And lots of emojis. And this has been another weekly Community Builder Meetup. Woo! Oh, look at that.
Carl has the best emojis.
Yeah, he does.
The pizza that
All
comes
right.
out of the gift.
Cool. So our next event is tomorrow. We're celebrating Marivio's end of his Helper 2 journey. So it'll be on Discord for an hour and a half. He's a game developer, and we're all going to get to try his games out. It's going to be amazing. And then we're going to come into VR and hopefully try out his newly constructed avatar that hopefully is done and tested.
Hold on.